Test, test, 1, 2. Test, test, 1, 2. Alright guys, we're going to get started here today. First thing we're going to do is we are going to dive into some pre-prepared drawings. Alright, let's see here. Alright, we're gonna get started here. Sorry about the little confusion there. I got my little recording was in the way of the minimize key, so I couldn't really access that. But alright, I'm gonna fire up a drawing that I prepared last night and into this morning. So we're going for like a kind of traditional brownstone setup here with a parlor per se. I'm gonna load up this file and you're gonna see the plan that I derived and some elevations that we're going to take as our reference. We'll fire this up here. So this is what we're looking at. So here's our plan section. Supposedly we would say that perhaps there's an entrance to the home somewhere outside here. I didn't do a full floor plan of the entire house because we're just really focused on millwork and how to produce things accurately. So basically, if you take a look here, we got our 4 elevations. So we'll start off and go over those in detail. So here we have our first elevation. We got some wall paneling going on. We got casing around the windows. We get the stool. Everything this built into the sill. And I still got some profiles here in the middle of the elevation that are on a no plot layer, just for visual reference to understand where some of these lines are coming from. You can see I got that highlighted everywhere. I actually removed them from some of the paneling because I have it actually in the plan itself. I don't really need to see those in the elevation since that carries out throughout the whole job. Here we also have a 2-part crown with a soffit that I developed. Some moldings that I just pulled online, very generic, nothing really specific. This isn't an actual real project that's being manufactured. So I didn't really create complex blocks or really make sure that the measurements were accurate. But for more or less, if you try to pull a dimension string, you'll see that they are pretty darn accurate. You know, you're not getting crazy fractions or irrational numbers here rolling. I threw together some dim strings kind of all around just to kind of be able to communicate more or less what's going on. And these files will be available for download, or I'll have you guys just send me an email request and I can provide you with the AutoCAD files. So we have our chair rail, our molding profiles, the casing profiles. We have our doors, windows, everything's kind of ready to go. And we got our geometry more or less 100% on par where it needs to be. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to remove all this labeling. So all the dimension strings, all the text, everything that's not basically a drawing, we're going to get rid of it. We don't want to bring that into 3ds Max with us. It's going to create all kinds of complications. You lose alignments and things kind of go haywire. So I'm actually going to close out of this file, and I'm going to fire up a cleaned up version of the same drawing. Nothing changed other than I deleted everything we don't need, and I might actually pull all the moldings that we need into a little corner and turn that into a block. That way when I import it into 3ds Max, it's kind of locked as is and can't be modified, and any vertices can't be pulled out of the way. Alright, so let's open that up. So as you can see here, same exact drawing, same exact thing. So let's I'm gonna create maybe a little area right here where I'm going to pull all the moldings into. As you can see, this is all kind of segmented. Normally I would polyline out the whole thing, but you know, it wasn't really a necessity at this point. I wasn't looking to, you know, spend 20 odd hours trying to engineer and shop draw the whole thing. I just wanted to be able to prove the methodology, really, to produce extremely high quality and realistic and scaled accurately 3D visualization. So we're going to take all this. This is pretty much all we need. Like, you know, because of the 3D model, we're not going to be seeing inside this kind of, we don't need all this blocking and all this crap, you know. So we're going to take just that right there, and we're going to bring that here. And we actually also do not need a lot of this. All we need is this profile here, right? Okay. Shot that down right here. Okay, let's see how much of this we can just more or less. It's pretty good. Alright, not a big deal. Alright, so now make sure that we got everything pulled. So we got this detail right here. We'll just take the whole thing. This profile is the same as this one. We don't need redundancy. We just need to pull what's different. So we'll take that. Let's take that. This is the same. We don't need that. These are different. Okay. Just bear with me here. I'm just going to select all our little moldings. Alright, we'll bring that over here, and we also don't need these lines. We don't need duplicates. We just want, give me what I need. Alright. I'm gonna actually just snap a line right here so we can bring everything where we want it, make it nice, more or less. Let's rotate that real quick. Okay. And I just wanted to make it clear, I'm not going to go into the details of like how to use any of the programs per se. I mean, this is more of a methodology on how to do this. I think there are many other people online that are much better resources to learn how to use AutoCAD or 3ds Max. I'm really just showing you the way I do it and how you can do it, or little tips and tricks that you can take from my workflow to perhaps improve, or maybe you can comment on mine and I can improve on the way we get things done as an industry and move towards you know, quicker turnaround times, better workflow, and you know, keep it culture. Keep it culture. I don't know what that means. Keep it kosher. I don't know. Just ignore what I say. Okay. Alright. And I'm gonna, for the sake of visualization, if you're just trying to like pump something out for approval and you don't even know if you have the job yet, I wouldn't go too crazy in making sure some of these profiles are like perfect. Believe it or not, these four, if you want to say here, are perfect. The way they're drawn in AutoCAD. This one's a little sloppy here with this curve. I don't like how it's really segmented, but for the sake of actually trying to create a 3D visualization, that's going to be fine, because as we move into quad modeling, you're going to notice that perfect curves aren't really possible. It's kind of an illusion with open subdiv, so it's not really relevant to our cause here. Let's just kind of tidy this up, and we'll keep those there, because we're going to have to trace these out first, or we're going to use those as kind of a swept path to create all our details here. Um, for the sake of simplicity as well, oops, what do we got there? Hold on, what did I select? Okay, we got the wall here. I'm actually going to get rid of anything that's behind the wall. We just don't need it. We're not going to show it. It kind of doesn't matter. I'm going to get rid of that block. Anything that's kind of... I want to get rid of everything that we don't need. The less lines we bring in, the better, because they have the tendency to jump on screen for whatever reason. I don't know why. It's Autodesk to Autodesk, but it happens. Anyway, actually, was that... we need that right there. Okay. That was my other block that was removed from the elevation. I threw it in the plan just to make sure I didn't lose it. Let's get rid of this. We don't need to show this, you know. It's unnecessary. It's kind of gonna complicate our lives. Okay. You know, I'm gonna get rid of all this 1/4-inch blocking behind the jambs. We don't need any of that either. We also don't need studs, any of that shit. Just get rid of it. Yes. Okay. Do the same here. And I'm also gonna get rid of this. We really just need to know finish. We don't need to see stud walls or anything like that. Just get rid of it. Okay. Cool. Can I get rid of that? Yeah, I can. Alright, I'm gonna also get rid of this as well. If we don't need it, get rid of it. Okay. Let's see here. Let's add that back. Let's get rid of that. Okay. See, let's keep this clean, boys, girls, ladies, gents. Alright. How we looking here? Get rid of that. Alright. One thing I want to modify, you know, I know this wasn't, I didn't really take this from a real architectural plan. I just created it on my own. One thing we're going to do is we're going to bring this back quite a bit, because I know that this throat, or really this depth here, you know, should realistically be, but I don't know, maybe let's say 18 inches. And let's drag these windows back for reference. Let's go, how about 4 inches from the outside? You know, these should be recessed. You know, if you go into any brownstones, if you're in your local city and you check them out, the windows are close to the outside of the building, and there is, you know, not in every situation, you don't have like a little kind of seating arrangement, but there's a little bit of a extension jam situation going on, even though it's not drawn as such. But anyway, so we got that. I think we're looking pretty good. We are going to turn these actually into blocks. The reason being is if you don't have it into blocks, sometimes things go a little haywire. Just things that I don't want to move around, we're going to turn into blocks. That's a block, that's a block. We're going to do the same for our plan here. Cancel, hold on. And if I'm not a dummy, we should be able to snap everything to where it's supposed to go, and it should be very nice. Okay, and let's also, we're going to leave that as such. We don't even need that. Okay, so this is looking great. So now we're going to go here, and let's save these changes here. That way when I provide you with the project files, that's ready to go. And now we're going to export this out as a DXF file. It's not going to be over here, so we're going to have to go to save as. DXF, we're going to save it as the most recent version. We're going to save that right in that source folder that we have for everything. And we're going to give it final save, and let's get out of here, and let's get into 3ds Max and get the ball rolling. Alright, do you want to save? Yes, please. Save, yes, okay. Do I want to replace it? Sure, okay. Hopefully that wasn't a bad decision. Alrighty, okay. So I am going to try to break this up into segments, so you know you can come back and start one video then move on to the next. I didn't actually, let's take a look at how long we've been streaming for. I don't know how accurate this is. What is this saying here? 15 minutes. Okay, so let's say before 7, sometime around 6:45, we're gonna stop here and I'll restart the stream again, and we'll kind of call that part 1, and we'll kind of play it by ear. Alright. And watch, I haven't done this in a while. I probably made a mistake turning everything into blocks. I don't remember exactly what was the glitchy issue, but nonetheless, we'll get through it. Come on. Alright, perfect. Okay. So, let's import that file. We're gonna go into our file here. Okay, DXF, open. Okay, blah blah. I don't know, I'm not intelligent. Ignore it. Alright, let's take a look at this here. We got everything. So, as you see, we got one solid piece here. That's literally everything we drew, and it's in 3ds Max. Awesome. So that worked. Cool. Alright, so let's we're gonna go into top view and let's start snapping these drawings up. Let's take that. Let's hit the W key here, and I'm gonna go over and we're going to change the pivot position, or really a world coordinate, to the specific object. Probably saying that wrong, but alright, let's see here. What do we got? I'm going to turn on snapping as well. Alright, that's where we want to take it from. Okay, good. Let's bring this down. Okay. Alright, so hypothetically speaking, we should, let's snap here, so we go snap right up to 90, and let's actually just let's go to front view. Let's take that, let's move this, no. Oh, we went all the way over there. Okay. Let's affect that pivot position to the bottom corner again. And we're going to do this for all 4 elevations, and we should be looking good. We should. Let's take a look at, are we really, ooh, what happened there? Interesting. Oh, okay, I see what happened there. Alright, hold on. Let's see if we can group these. We're having a little bit of an issue here. Technical issues. Let's go back to the plan view here. Top. Okay, let's grab everything. And let's make that a group. Let's call this LF2. And hopefully that fixes that issue. Yes, it does. Great. Perfect. We're learning here. Okay. Let's do the same thing we just did again. There we go. Okay. Let's do this. Okay. Alright. There we go. Now I think we are doing something here. Kind of. We'll see. Alright, and we look good. You'll see that these lines don't line up. That's just because the base is actually wrapping around. This is to where the panel actually ends right here. I didn't do 17 different sections going all the way up, because I think, you know, just for visualization purposes, we can actually figure that out as we go. Let's grab that one. Let's group that as well. Call that LF1. Trying to make our lives easier here. Let's actually rotate this 90. Okay. Again, affect pivot point. We're going to be using modifying pivot points a lot. It's a good way to manipulate your drawing, to be able to use it as much as possible to produce your final product. Alright. Just want to make sure you actually clip into the right spot as well. And for any of you guys have done this, right now it's kind of looking like almost like you're trying to do this inside of AutoCAD, which I've never done. I've never used AutoCAD for 3D. Never done it. I don't know if it's any good. I think I've tried like kind of fooling around with it, and I was just like, what is this garbage? What? This is a blasphemous. Just feel like there's no real like layer system, and it's very convoluted and complicated to manage your design. Come on. Did we not group this one? Oh, LF4. Okay. Is it? No, that's 3, but whatever. Who cares? Already did it. We're not stopping here, guys. We gotta keep moving and grooving. Like I said earlier yesterday, you know, I'm really not trying to make this a 6-hour ordeal. I'm trying to get this done. At the end of the day, that is the game here. Making money, getting it done. Alright. That should be our 4th elevation. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Oh. No, we want to go this way? Okay. I am using a lot of shortcuts just to pan in between, you know, move, rotate, and stuff like that. You know, that's using the W. What is it? W. If you select what you want, W will allow you to move. E will allow you to rotate, and R will allow you to scale. It's good to memorize those because, you know, having to go and click things here is gonna slow you down really, really badly. So there we go. There's a room. We're done. We are done. Just kidding. Alright, perfect. We're actually going to hide all this and focus on getting our moldings ready. And then we're going to position them where we think will be the best starting point. Because basically what we're going to do is we're going to trace out the profile. And then we're going to use, we're going to trace out the path. And we're going to use the profile to sweep around it. And we'll do some basic extrusions just to build up, you know, we got these, you know, recessed areas for the panels. We also have, you know, these bookcases that we're going to just extrude back. And then we're just going to add some rectangles. Really, we're not doing a whole lot that's complicated. We'll see if it's going to get complicated when we get to these arches and whether it gives us a hard time or not trying to revolve some of these profiles here. But, you know, I think we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. Alright, so, sorry here. Let's hide these. Of course, it does nothing for me. Thank you. Noob. Okay, no, nothing. Alright. Okay. We'll just, that's not what I want. Let's just, you know what? I hate you too. Okay, let's see here. We're gonna hide selected. Okay, there we go. There's always a way around this. Okay, so here's our profiles, right? So we're just gonna use lines to trace all of this out. Realistically, that's what it's gonna break down to, guys. Ladies, gents. Sorry, I'm gonna say guys, but I mean humanoids in general. Alright. So we got our line tool. Let's start tracing this profile out. It's already segmented pretty much accurately for us, and we're just gonna follow those segments. And if we have to, we'll throw a turbo smooth on there, but you gotta watch out for when this shindiggery happens here. Okay, hold on. Might have to be a little careful here. It wants to, like I said, I did not redraw these, so is this the one? Alright, hold. Okay, there. Okay, good. Alright. Well, maybe we'll try to keep a little distance here so it doesn't try to flip the line around. Okay. Good, good. Okay. Alright, I might be quiet for a little bit here now. And, let's just get this done. Oh. If you do mess up, don't stop. You can just come back and move that vertex later. It's not worth restarting this. Everything can be modified. We're going around our Sima curve here. Alright. Alright. Ooh. We'll go back and fix that right there. Hopefully it doesn't cause us complication when we try to, come on. This must be the person who originally drew the molding. And I'll actually put in the video description where I get my moldings from when I'm fooling around at home. And, you know, I'm not working on a client-specific project, so traditionally at work, you know, an architect will design any kind of molding his heart desires, and will grind or, you know, build a knife that fits that profile to meet the customer's specific needs. Kind of went on a tangent there. I forgot why I even... Oh yeah, I was going to show you the website I used to pull up moldings. It's pretty good, you know. Don't drive yourself crazy trying to make your own moldings, you know. You're trying to get things done, and in order to get things done, sometimes you have to not cut corners, but understand how much you can possibly produce, right? And the relevance there is, if you want to get stuff done, you have to understand that you can't do everything yourself. You know, some stuff has to be bought out, you know. Alright, so we got that spline there. Let's go here. Let's go segments. We'll snap these back to if they want to move. Oh, come on. Give me a vertex. Oh, there we go. See, simple, simple. You know, if we keep stopping every time we do a little cuck, a little mistake there, no good. Can't believe I just used that word. I blame the internet. Alright, let's we're gonna fix these. Okay. Oh, what are you doing? Let's see, can I fix... hopefully we'll be okay. Hopefully. We'll see. if anybody knows how to fix this issue, let me know. Like a one-click, fix that Bezier, get rid of the Bezier curve. That would be awesome. Okay, alright. We have our first molding done. And let's move that up there. And we actually don't... I turned this all into a block, so we didn't... See, like, sometimes it works, and I don't... Anyway. Maybe it's the line weights. When you have separate line weights, I don't know. Anyway, that's our molding. So we're going to sweep that across for our roof. Perhaps. I'm not sure if I just want to run this around the outsides or if I want to kind of do a little bit more of a detailed plan. I didn't draw a reflected floor plan to kind of show roof detail, but we'll figure it out, whatever we think looks best. So this molding here is for our panel, and I'm going to draw it slightly different than the way it is here. Part of the reason is I think I want this line to be flush with that line right there, right? So that way our molding comes down in our panels. I don't know, I just kind of threw this together too quickly, I think is what it is, and I didn't want to start producing shop drawings and figuring out where the plywood is going to be and where the the solid lumber is going to be and make the moldings work. I just kind of wanted to do this project to showcase the workflow and my ability to do it. But we're gonna make it work, man. We're gonna make it work. Don't worry about that. Hopefully one day I'll be so good I don't sound like so disorganized here. One day. Alright. And I've done this so many times before with different projects that really, this curve kind of looks jaggedy, but I'm telling you, man, it's the same thing. It's just doing like a regular circle from, like, you won't see it, the segmentation of it, especially if you're not close up and you're doing a room shot. It's going to look super smooth. And again, if it doesn't look adequate enough to you, then throw a turbo smooth on there. That's fine. It's no big deal. We do have a lot of verts. It's not like our shape is undefined. Turbo smooth should be fine, should hold, should look nice. Like I said, I don't think it's really necessary, but you can do it. Granted, I want to keep into account that I do want to texture all this with Rift White Oak, so I don't want to go so crazy that my rendering times go through the nose. This is our final, this is the detail I was talking about right here. I think I want to be down here, like that. Okay. There we go. Alright, where we got our little snafus here. That's a much better word. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to use the word cuck, just kind of slipped out. Maybe I've been playing too many video games or something, who knows. Well, what's going on here? Why is it interesting? There we go. And I can tell you, I can just tell right now that that is gonna bring trauma later in this, when I'm gonna have to fix that. But we'll live. We will live. All right, we're good. We got our second molding done. I like the pace. We'll just keep going. Alright, and I would suppose that you'd probably want to label these. Come in the tree and name it something rational, instead of just leaving it as like the default line. We'll do that afterwards, after we're done tracing everything out. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. We botched that one. That one we will restart. I actually wonder if you can use just these lines, but I think part of the problem is that, you know how sometimes you have difficulty, even though you join the whole drawing in AutoCAD, you still have breaks, and I think that'll cause some problems with the vertex rotation. So I think maybe we shouldn't even, I don't know, I might have to experiment with that using AutoCAD lines, even though I think it's probably a bad idea. You should always redo your stuff if it's a whole new system. You know, we're not dealing with the same kind of modeling. I don't know. Let me guys know. Let me, you know, drop a message and let me know if you have any experience with not redrawing your details. Oh, look at that. Ugh. See, that's maybe AutoCAD is not the way to go. Redraw. That's the lesson here, guys, gals. Redraw. Alright. Alright. Let's go to vertex select mode. Let's plop that there. Let's move that back. Let's take a look at rotation. Scale this a little bit more down. That looks good. I thought we had one other one that went awry here. Let's see if we find it. Oh yeah, right here we go. Yeah, so it's weird, the rotation went out of whack there. Yeah, looks good. Okay. Alright, one more done. Okay. Alright, next one. Oh, come on. We're gonna actually, as soon as I'm done tracing out all these moldings, I'm gonna stop the stream and I'll be back. I'm gonna just take a quick, like, 15-minute break, maybe get something to drink. And then we're gonna move on to positioning these profiles when I get back and converting them over to, not splines, whatever you call it. Okay. Alright. Looks good. I'll move that area here. Okay. Two more. And let's just check the time. What do we got here? Yeah, so I think we're good for time. We've been on for about 40 minutes now. And we're going to finish up these two moldings. and we'll move on to the next step, which is really setting our job up. You know, maybe we'll go into we're going to position our profiles and sweep them. Okay. Yeah, we don't really have that many profiles. I mean, I think we'll be okay though. For a job like this, if this was something real, I mean, we probably have, who knows, maybe, for a room like this, to this kind of style and budget and range, you know, you could have, actually it could be even simpler, or it could even be over the top, and you could have up to 30 different pieces of molding going on. It really depends on how elaborate the interior designer slash architecture firm, you know, developed it, and the client's budget and kind of their view on what they were looking for. I personally like when a lot of thought and consideration is put into how a lot of different pieces of molding can come together to really create something super unique. I mean, I know that the shaker style is kind of growing in popularity, very, you know, basic S4S kind of looking style and pattern for the millwork, but I really like that super classical, architectural, traditional, you know, Greek Roman kind of look. A lot of forms mashed together, you know, whether you got bull noses, cyma curves, cavettos, and, you know, scotias and stuff like that. Very beautiful. I love it. Look at this one. We got a whole bunch of little things we gotta fix here. Yeah, we'll close that. Okay. Come on. Alright, let's go. Vertex. Did we get any... we started off good. We got a little things here. Alright. And I'm not sure if my music is playing through on the stream. If it is, it's going to flag my whole video. which kind of stinks, but it is what it is. I can't really stand sitting here for hours on end without something to listen to, and you know, no big deal. Okay. Okay, and we are going to end up changing all our pivot points, or else these sweeps will never work. Alright, so we don't even need this anymore. We're done. Really? Okay, yeah, we don't need that anymore. That's all our moldings. Yeah, let's name these and we'll stop here. Alright, this is gonna be our, we'll just call it crown. This is gonna be our, come on. Casing. This is our, we're gonna call this our applied molding. This is gonna be our, let's call this our mantle molding. That's what's going around our mirror and our fireplace. We're gonna call this our mantle molding outer. This is our, where is it? Okay. We're gonna call this our apron. I know that I didn't go too crazy with doing this architectural because I just wanted to get this video done, but we are missing, like, you know, a stool, and we'll just implement that, you know, in our drawing. We'll make our window come down slightly less so we have enough space to throw like a bull nose on there. We'll make it work. I'm not too worried about that. Okay, and is this where it's all hiding? Yes, and we'll enable this. We'll just leave it there, and we'll end this video. And let's just give this a save as. Okay, we'll name this DVF 3DX DVS DVF. Awesome. I actually named this we'll close this. I actually want to show you guys something here. I actually named this whole thing Divine Visual Form. These are some reference images that I collected. This is something that I want to start today and perhaps come back another time, future post, and work on some of this ornamentation. That's just not something that I'm going to be able to pump out, you know, on a live stream. That's something that I really like. For example, these figurines, the masculinity and femininity and the sun kind of thing. These motifs are really quite great. But like I said, this is not something that I feel comfortable live streaming. This is something of a process of troubleshooting and going back and forth in between 3ds Max and Mudbox to kind of get the finished aesthetic that I'm looking for. And I'm really kind of a fan of this, like these little faces. And I wanted to incorporate all this, but it's just like that's almost like a month-long project to kind of build all these details out. It's not something that I feel comfortable live streaming. Yeah, and I'll show you. This is also the texture that we're going with. This is going to be our finished look. This is actually the leaf picture of veneer that I got from a manufacturer. It's very nice and high resolution, and I used Photoshop to convert that into a seamless texture so we can actually use that for all our moldings. I'm assuming, I think that I'm going to be doing the whole room in Rift White Oak. I may not be using this as the finished image. I might create a stained variant of this, going with a slightly, we'll see once we start to pull everything together. But we are at exactly 6:40, right on time to take a short break. And I am going to pause the live stream, but then we will be back. Alrighty, I'll see you in a few.